Alright everyone, huge news in the NFL over the past week, and I can't even begin to comprehend all the stuff that's happened. What the hell's even going on anymore? Like, what? No! I did not want this at all. Why are people, these bots are saying a decent wide receiver? No! Look at that money, no! Justin Fields is going to the freaking Jets. Huffunga's going to the Broncos. I broke a lot of the big name stories up into 3 categories: shocking, expected, and unsure, and I'll go over each one and give my takes on each one as well. Starting off with the Seahawks trading Geno Smith to the Raiders. This one was very shocking to me. I wasn't expecting the Seahawks to give up on him, honestly, but I also didn't expect the Raiders to go for Geno as the answer for quarterback. I just don't understand that move at all. You know, everyone thought Shedeur Sanders was going there, but apparently not, unless they're gonna make him sit behind Geno. I don't know. I'll give this a C grade. I feel like it's right in the middle. I don't see it benefiting or negating anything from each side. Geno is a very solid quarterback. He's getting old. I think his comeback days are over. So it's interesting to see how both teams use this trade to their advantage. This is the whoa! No! You've gotta be kidding me! They replaced Geno Smith with Sam Darnold? He had a system in Minnesota. There's no system in Seattle. They're in rebuild mode. Why? Continuing on with the Raiders, they extended Max Crosby. I did not see this coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming, to be honest with you. I'm giving this an A though. I think it's huge for the Raiders organization. Probably not for Max Crosby. I think he wanted out, but you know, when they fish out money like that and like lure you in with big numbers, then of course you're gonna come rolling back. On a very similar theme, I was very shocked that the Bengals franchise tagged T. Higgins. I was not expecting that. They're holding that man hostage. I don't understand what they're doing. They're not giving him the money that he deserves. They're just keeping him on this lower salary to franchise tag him, and oh my gosh, huge mistake right here. I feel like they could have drafted a receiver, letting T. Higgins go so that he can go to a different team and boost up and elevate a team there, probably like the Patriots, but no, apparently not. Apparently the Bengals are keeping him. I'm giving this a C- grade. It's all right, but on the lower side of all right. The Chargers released Joey Bosa, and I don't know how to feel about this. It just came as a surprise to me when I saw the news, but I really honestly don't know what to say about this. The dude never really bounced back thoroughly from all the injuries, and he gets injured like every single year, so I don't know. If he has a comeback year and he does really well, then I feel like that he could really elevate a team. I'm giving this a B+. I feel like it's a very decent exchange for both parties. Give Joey Bosa a fresh new start on a different team. Hopefully that helps him bounce back, and the Chargers get a lot of money back. The Commanders released Jonathan Allen. This came to me as a shock because he's a very much of a stud on the D-line. I don't know the situation there with the money and all that on the Commanders side of things, but I feel like, man, probably a C- on this one. I feel like it probably gives them a lot of cap space, but I also feel like they're lowering their talent on the D-line a considerable amount. Okay, whoa, okay, this is pretty big. Signing a center, okay, they're building a O-line around Caleb Williams, finally. Re-signing Chris Godwin, okay. Washed guy going to the Bucks, okay. Re-signing Khalil Mack, I saw that already. Extending J.C. Horn, okay, wow. The Seahawks traded DK Metcalf to the Steelers. This was an absolute shock to me because I did not expect the Seahawks to go full rebuild mode. You know, Tyler Lockett got released, Geno Smith got traded to the Seahawks, so I'm like, okay, they'll build it around DK Metcalf. No! They ship him out of town too. I was very shocked about that, but you know, it's a huge boost for the Steelers. I feel like this is a B+. All the positives going to the Steelers, all the negatives going to the Seahawks. Not having too high of expectations for them this year. The Browns extended Myles Garrett. No, I was so disappointed when I saw this news because I am a Bills fan. I thought Myles Garrett was going to be a Buffalo Bill. The guy boasts about wanting to go to a contender, sees the dollar signs, and goes immediately back to all that money. They're dishing out all their money to Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson. They're gonna have no one else on that roster. I don't understand what that organization is doing. I'm giving this a D-. I do not like this one bit. It's not the worst thing in the world. You know, like an F would be like Deshaun Watson, whatever. But what the hell are the Browns doing? All right, now we're in the expected category. This is stuff that I really saw coming and wasn't really too surprised surprised about. Seahawks releasing Tyler Lockett. I'll give this an A. I feel like he's getting old. It was his time. The Rams signed Davante Adams. I had a graphic saved for when the Jets released him, and that was expected as well. But the Rams signed Davante Adams. I could see that coming. They're getting rid of Cooper Kupp slowly but surely, and I feel like this will be a pretty similar adjacent to the skill level that Cooper Kupp is at as of 2025. Will he have a better year than the Jets? I sure hope so, because that was pathetic. I'll give this an A-. I feel like it's pretty decent, on the positive side of decent though. Raiders released Gardner Minshew. I'm pretty neutral to this. I'd say Gardner Minshew's ass. The Raiders know it. They released him so that they could bring in Geno. Eagles re-signed Zach Bond. I'll give this an A. I feel like this is a great move over here. Zach Bond was talked about a lot after a breakout year, and what team would he go to in free agency? He's staying with the Eagles, rightfully so. The Eagles extended Saquon Barkley. A++++. I'm just giving it an A+, but I feel like this is the best outcome for Saquon Barkley. He got traded to the Eagles, won a freaking Super Bowl, and had a monster year. He deserves all the money he's getting on the Eagles. Buccaneers re-signed Lavonte David. I'm giving this an A-. It's probably going to be one of his last years, if it isn't his last year, and he's getting old. He's still producing at a high quality level, and it was a smart move to do that. Josh Allen contract extension, making him the highest guaranteed money for quarterbacks. I'm a Bills fan. Obviously, I have to give this an A+. Dude just won MVP. He's killing it out there. The Vikings re-signed Aaron Jones. I'm giving this an A-. That dude was really good on the Vikings last year. Fun fact, he's older than Dalvin Cook, but producing at a way higher level than that guy. Chiefs re-signed Nick Bolton. I'm giving this an A. I feel like it was a great move. Bills released Von Miller. I saw this coming from a mile away. I'm giving this an A. I'm a Bills fan, so I've watched literally every single game. Von Miller has not bounced back since his injury back in that Lions Thanksgiving game. And it sucks, man, because before that injury, he was producing at such a high level, and now that's just not there anymore. He's a shell of himself, and hopefully he could regain himself on another team or retire, honestly. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that the Bills did that. Gave them a lot of cap space. Chiefs re-signed Hollywood Brown. I'm giving this a B+. Hollywood Brown did not produce as well as I thought that he would have on the Chiefs last year. DeAndre Hopkins did a lot better, to be honest. I know Brown got injured and stuff, but whatever. Based on production alone, it's a B+. It might be an A+ by the time this next season's over, depending on how he performs on the Chiefs, but we'll see how that goes. And last but not least, here are the news stories that I am unsure about. Chiefs trade Joe Thuney to the Bears. I'm not too sure about this one because I'm not really a O-line person, and I'm not a fan of the Chiefs, so I don't really know how Joe Thuney is. I've heard he's pretty good, though. Going to the Bears is like a death sentence. That organization loves to fail people. Look at Caleb Williams, man. He was on his ass every 2 seconds, so giving him extra O-line in theory, and good O-line in theory, is going to be great on paper, but as it plays out with the organization and the coaching staff and whatever, we'll see how that goes. Jaguars release Christian Kirk, and I forgot to put this on here, but he actually did not get released. He got traded to the Texans after his release, and I'm unsure about how that's going to play out. I feel like Kirk was dealt a short hand on the Jags, and will he fill that void in the wide receiver position in the Texans, because they have a lot of missing pieces in that position? I don't know. Saints released Jamal Williams. He was kind of just there on the Saints. He didn't really have too many flashy seasons or anything like that, so I don't know how this is going to affect the Saints, and I don't know how this is going to really affect a team who goes and grabs him. The Commanders re-signed Bobby Wagner. I don't know about this. He was pretty great on the team last year. I thought he was really going to go in free agency and go somewhere else, but no, he's staying with the Commanders. He's definitely not as good as he was in long previous years ago. What if being on a contender is going to boost him up and get him back to that elite level? He's really great right now, but he's not that elite level, and I feel like I just really don't know how he's going to play out. He's getting old too. I don't know, man. The Jaguars released Evan Ingram. Man, I'm not sure how I feel about this too, because he used to be such a high-level producer. I haven't heard much of him around the NFL lately, so I don't know really how he's been producing, but I feel like, man, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to perform on a different team. So yep, these were the NFL news stories from the past week or so. Let me know your thoughts on these news stories, and hopefully my takes were pretty good on them. And I'll see you all later. Oh my gosh, what is going on? How did the Eagles let this guy go? What?